Never on the beats.
R.I.P. to my old man. It's been a year.
Hey, they say, why do it take? You're throwing bars away. You didn't worry, bro. I got bars for days. Bars of rage. Nah, not today. Bought these Alexander Wangs and the color's gray. Staring in the mirror, watching Shorty slay. Visions of my mama and my daughter play. I know say I go dread that when she come of age. A topic for another day. Charlie anyway. February 18th, a day I will remember. Packed a couple bags, now she gone till November. I moved on my third project, The Agenda. Rapping since tender, understand the splendor. Them say what we did do, boy, it no go where. But that be what I feel the way, I no go sweat. Charlie, that be what I feel the way, I no go stress. Boy, do it how you want it, so you get the check. My nigga, we out here though. New moon, same squad, we getting paid, bro. My name flow, get effect, passing grade, bro. Sprite with effects, got my sight all bled though. My homie, life's a dope pick with a dope caption. Like Duncan Williams Church, man, what be the action? When you see something real, there's a great attraction. A pretty tall thing on the side relaxing. We plotting and we mapping and they stay yapping. I want the whole thing, nigga, smoke a fraction. Come see what it do, you could join the faction. Seen too many things to ever be distracted. Hey, patakap, chale patakap. Without you, boy, chale, you know I can't. I walked the dark path and you held the lamp. We do it how we do it, boy, we know it around.
We are who we are, let's go. Citi TV. Hey. Hey. You didn't know I was 6'0". You raised it up to like 6'2".
Hey, cause if you want it, then you gotta go and get it. It be something with the top all day in the game for the props and the checks. Some came for the girls and the fame. Anyway, I be rocking with the best. We their streets from my crowd, we the buck Norway. Remember our town, Omeya with less. Patakap, Charlie, we be in the house. See my sanity, it do me say he lost. Killer, it be in way, I did one track 4 days. If you say it, better say it with your chest. Holler at a hit man, me I know the top ball game. I ran, ebe ya will say my trebi. Yeah, I know Munro, ebe ya will say my febi. Jack, be steady, ebe too and it's too heavy. Cause he really for be ready. Cha will do that, I will levy you for best. Charlie, if you want it, then you gotta go and get it. Hey, hey, it be something with the top all day. All you gotta do is push it to the limit. Hey, push it to the limit. Forget everybody go day. If you want it, then you gotta go and get it. Hey, it be something with the top all day. All you gotta do is push it to the limit. Hey, forget everybody go day. Me ya badam, guy. Who beats weight, mama ya badam. Night time, right time, now kwakoda. Real niggas in the house, Charlie men kasa. Masa men pata. Me ya intana. Almost till we no go fit, now so ya kasa. Fresh boy, me swear, go my bandana. Obey your John Lysa, na wakwako. Charlie and Fata, but I'm walking on my own path. We be making money, I be working on my own man. Fiend for reverse, she be calling me the dope man. Play with your boy, you go leave with a toe tag. Charlie broke man's got love for my homies. Hey, cause we be that trip. We done work hard, ball hard with the homies. Hey, show me that bill, young homie, come on. If you want it, then you gotta go and get it. Hey, hey, if it's something with the top all day, all you gotta do is push it to the limit. Hey, hey. Forget everybody got day. If you want it, then you gotta go and get it. Hey, if it's something with a truck all day, all you gotta do is push it to the limit. Hey, forget everybody got day.
Pata Camp is in the house. Hey, Pata Camp is in the house. Hey, Pata Camp is in the house. And the fact is, you can't tell your thing to your spouse. Go. Are you ready to work this morning? Are you ready to tie your shoes and go get your money? Chase your destiny. Chase what's yours. I'm doing mine though. Hey. Cause what?
Through and through, we coming through. All my flaws, untie my shoes. Back to walk, we're proud and cruise.
Me, don't do more. Me, don't do more. Big up Polasi, cause you're cute on this one. We are who we are. Tape out. Hey, hey, Mr. Nananyame, it's a gift how I craft these bars.
Been a two, how I hide these scars, wallahi. We go high, so we pass these stars. Who even thought the boy would ever get this far? Empty show, cry, yeah, but we've been on the road. Go through the most, yeah, so you sit on the throne. 10 toes to the turf, yeah, chalk you a crow. Send beef to my post, then we honor the code. Pata, it's incredible the things that we be going through. But either way, we giving you these code books. Small times, when our names go be notable. We set the bar so high, it go over you. Unya Sarah over anthem. Twitter for the way you are paying anthem. Yet your phone and China, yeah, can cancel. Focus on your goals, Charlie. Gash them and like them. Let's go.
Through and through, we coming through. My flaws, time I shoot.
Hey,
Back to walk.
we're proud of cruise. Me, Tantoma, me, Tantoma.
Through and through, we coming through. My flaws, time I shoot.
Hey.
Back to walk. We proud of cruise. Me,
See, me, I no be bothered. Whether it be fried rice, whether it be gobe. I no be too fussy on whatever I be offered. Forever, we go chop pounds, Charlie, what be dollars? Real talk, see they like play with my... Some of the things we be doing to your daughters, touch it. Got a great body of a goddess. Pata in the house, yeah, you people for be honored. Pata, pata, pata. Hey, I need my headphones back. Wait a sec, let me put my snap back on pack. Real rap, we be spitting it. Racks on racks, these are the guys. Let's be chatting, bad crap on crap. It's bars. A cut deep, it be lyrical sword. If you did like, put your gimmicks and your lyrics aboard. Been a G since they cut off my umbilical cord. I smell good like Selassie up on lyrical walls. You see it?
through and through.
We coming through.
My flaws,
And time my shoes.
back to walk.
We're proud of cruise. Hey, hey. If you're watching, you just two-step with me. Hey, hey, hey. We're proud of cruise. Just visualize yourself this morning doing something great. Visualize yourself. Get in the zone. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Dream home. Dream home. Just meditate with us. Meditate. Hey. 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 Whoa.
That was tempo.
Yeah.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed them. Every time we have to start the show with a rapper, I'm like, maybe they'll do one good song and then after that, but I didn't want to come back on air. Like, he's a good blend of
solid rap, solid hip
Ace
hop.
Hood, Lupe, Nas. I don't even know where to place him within those three, but he's really talented.
It's good music.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about his story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're welcome to Breakfast Daily. Good morning to all of you, wherever you're watching from. This is Breakfast Daily. My name is David Kwekosichi.
And I am Dziffa, aka Ametam. We're so privileged that you can spend your Friday morning with us. It is an interactive show, so wherever you are, we want to hear from you. Just use the hashtag Breakfast Daily to contribute to the conversation.
Yes, and our WhatsApp line, you can see it on your screen there, 0550585832. For those of you who are in Ghana, if you happen to be outside, please prefix that with +233.
Now, yesterday was a big day for all the Persec boys.
Oh, that dear. I know.
I was kind of hoping that disco would take it. I don't know. I don't have any affiliation to a disco.
Hold on. Because I know somebody else who's also agitating for a disco to take it. I don't know what's up with the two of you, but you and AJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah. AJ was going crazy. You should have seen her at disco. What are you doing? She was shouting at the TV. You know, yeah. So, no, but I mean, I think congratulations to all the Odadia and the three gentlemen that led the way.
So talented.
Yes. Carry the torch,
you know, and
led the way.
Every year when I observe the National Math and Science quiz, it's the students really, they're the stars, you know, and for me, if my child is about to go to secondary school, these are the kind of people I would want them to look up to, representing your school in this manner. It's just beautiful.
Absolutely. Well, it's fantastic. I saw some old Odadia people, you know, shouting and screaming.
And then wives of Odadias.
Yeah, I know, right?
Girlfriends of Odadias, side chicks of Odadias. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
There's a whole movement, you know, it's amazing.
But congratulations, it's a win for the entire country.
Yes,
so we're so happy that they were able to take it home. Now, today we have a packed show.
Yeah.
What are we doing for Discovery?
Well, we have Barbara Mante.
Okay.
We'll be sort of speaking to her later on.
Nice.
But I noticed something about your personality, though. You know that we're gonna be talking to. There are fascinating stories of people doing such incredible things. You know, all through. Sometimes I ask myself, where have I been all this time? You know, where did I drop on this planet Earth? You know, when you see some of the stories of people, amazing things that people are doing. Of course, we're gonna have a relationship as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about the concept of admiration and you know the impact it has on relationships. So I'm curious to see what our guest is going to take us, which route our guest is going to take us down. You know, talking about admiration and the importance of it in a relationship and so on.
But when it comes to Barbara, for instance, for me, when we think of innovators, at least within this country, I think all the entrepreneurs within the agri ecosystem are probably the biggest innovators we have, because we need food to survive. You go to other countries, price of food has gone up drastically. We don't have that here. So to find these young crops of entrepreneurs adding value to the agri sector, saying, how do I package this in a way that people can get easy access to, it won't spoil the way other things will spoil, really helping the farmers themselves make more money because they're adding value. It's truly inspirational. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation that you have with her.
You know, and the thing about what you're talking about right now is the fact that it's so easy to just say, let's go down the easy, cheap, simple route, you know, but the effort it takes to make sure that your product sits on the shelf and it can sit on the shelf for 2 months, 3 months with no spoilage, that's a lot of work. And there's a kudos to so many people who are doing this, and Barbara Mante is one of the shining stars, and I think it's an amazing story that we have right there. So looking forward to bringing you the Discovery.
And of course, for personality, we're really going to be looking at brain gain, because for a very long time, when you look at Africa's relationship with developed countries, it's always brain drain. People are leaving, they want greener pastures, they want better days. So for a woman who was born and raised in the UK, literally when she was at the peak of her career, to say, you know, because most of us, that's the time we want to build mansions in Ghana and come occasionally to do burgers and, you know, show off with our accents and stuff. Say, no. I'm going to move my entire family back home. I'm going to figure out how to help businesses in Ghana grow. She spent some time in South Africa as well, came back to Ghana. Now she's been here for 10 years. And just as coronavirus was about to hit, she's like, you know what, I'm going to walk away from it all to start my own venture so that I can have more impact. So you guys don't want to miss that conversation.
And then of course, Ghana Reads has been doing this incredible campaign of trying to bring back the culture of reading, you know, and our libraries. You know, we don't, I mean, I don't even know whether we have any public libraries that exist right now.
There are a few, few that people have been trying to, I mean, Seattle, for instance, has been trying to champion that, but then we need more.
We need a
more libraries.
A lot of libraries. You know, and we used to have, you know, big public libraries in their different capital cities. You know, but now we don't. In different cities, you know, regional capitals and so on. But we don't, and it's a shame. I think the reading culture has sort of dipped deeply, but now a lot of people are also making efforts to try to change the narrative and bring reading back in different ways, not necessarily the big mortar and concrete building, you know, for people to go and sit, but other ways, looking for innovative ways to get people to go back to reading and to love reading, you know. And I think it makes such a difference if a child starts off reading and reading well, all knowledge is written in some book or the other.
Definitely. And you know, it's funny, last night I had a conversation with a doctor of literature, and I was telling him how privileged I was as a teenager when I was dealing with so many problems. I couldn't make sense of the world, and I was an introverted child, so I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was able to find the right books, be exposed to the right authors who allowed me see that whatever it is I'm experiencing is not unique to me. They've been through it, they've gone through worse experiences than I have, and they still went on to thrive. So when children are exposed to people like that in the form of books, even if they don't have direct access to them within their immediate environment, they are able to dream far and wide and say, I'm still going to go on and become that doctor. I'm going to be that lawyer. I'm going to achieve everything I want to because someone exists. They've been through what I'm experiencing and they still went on to survive. You know, and I was telling him that my niece is 14. She's around the same age I was when I started reading. I don't know where she would go to find these kinds of books, or teachers who will find it valuable to nurture that curiosity in her, so that even if she doesn't want to open up to me about what she's experiencing, she can find an author that she can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they say that the imagination is the world where you can explore anything and everything.
Now it's time for us to go across the country to find out what's happening in the world of news. Let's take a look at our news roundup.
Good morning and welcome to News Roundup from the Northern Region. My name is Diana Ungwan. Now to the news. One person is reported to have been shot dead, with others sustaining gunshot wounds at Sanguli, a community in the Saboba district of the Northern Region. The disturbance, according to the District Security Council, emanates from a chieftaincy problem in the area. In a telephone conversation with Citi News, the District Chief Executive for Saboba, George Bengurni, said security personnel have been deployed to the community to maintain calm. Also, exhibitors at this year's pre-harvest conference and exhibition in the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale, have commended the event organizers for the initiative. The pre-harvest is an annual event which provides an opportunity for businesses in the agri value chain, including farmers, processors, buyers, input dealers, among others, to market their products and as well network with other actors to boost their businesses. It was on the theme COVID-19 and Beyond, Solutions for Agricultural Transformation. In her address, the Executive Director for Agri-House Foundation, who are the organizers of the event, Albertanana Acha Akosa, touted the achievement of the event for the past 9 years as enormous, saying it has provided long-term opportunities to over 97,000 less privileged farmers in the northern part of the country. In other news, the Australian High Commissioner Gregory Andrews has called for a stakeholder collaboration to end violence against women accused of witchcraft. According to him, elderly women deserve love and care from society than the shameful practice of wrongfully labeling them as witches. The High Commissioner, who was on a familiarization tour of the Northern Region, made a stop at Ngani Witches Camp in the Northern Region to interact with the over 100 women and men who are housed there. Speaking to Citi News, the High Commissioner described the recent incident at Kafaba, where a 90-year-old woman was lynched, as inhumane and called on all to stand against such barbaric acts. And that's it for News Roundup from the Northern Region. My name is Zaina Ungwan.
This is News Roundup from the Bono region. I am Michael Sapon Infum. An independent parliamentary candidate in the Sunyani West constituency of the Bono region, Bernard Oduotechi, has become the first candidate in the region to launch his manifesto in the run-up to the December polls. The manifesto touches on 8 thematic areas, including health, education, job creation, security, agriculture, among others. According to Bernard Oduotechi, the Sunyani West constituency has lacked the needed leadership for the past 12 years, hence his desire to engineer change that will inure to the benefit of the people. He noted that he will lobby to bring more jobs into the constituency when he gets the nod to represent the people of Sunyani West. He promised focusing on agribusiness to create the needed jobs for the unemployed youth. In another development, the first ever integrated sewing center funded by the Australian High Commission has been inaugurated in Sunyani. The center is expected to train 200 youths in the next 3 years. Speaking at the inauguration of the center, the Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, Gregory Andrews, admonished the trainees to make good use of the opportunity they have gotten to study at the center. I am Michael Sapon Infum. Thanks for watching.
So that's a bit of the news across the country, and of course the entire nation woke up to the brutal murder of the MP of Mfantsiman, Honorable Eko Kwansa Hayford. We condemn it. A lot of things have been happening across the country, people getting murdered for absolutely no reason. It is an election year. We cannot entertain it. I hope that our security agencies will find whoever did this to the MP and punish them the way that they should be punished.
Let me just read this story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so so let me just quickly read the story here. The Member of Parliament for the Mfantsiman constituency, Eko Kwansa Hayford, has been reportedly shot dead. The MP is said to have been shot on the Abiadze Dominase, Abiadze Duadze, Mankasim Road by some unknown assailants on his return from a campaign trip. City News regional correspondent Calvestete said while multiple sources within the MPP have confirmed the unfortunate development, tight-lipped on details.
Yes, and speaking of Calvis, we have him on the line, so we're going to talk to him right now. Good morning, Calvis. Hello, Calvis. Are you there?
Yeah, hello, Dziffa.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. Can you tell us a bit about where you are and what's going on there?
Well, Dziffa, I am in the Mfantsiman constituency. The police constituency is where Eko Kwansa Hayford, the Member of Parliament who was allegedly killed, shot and killed this morning. This is his constituency. The news broke up early hours of this morning, and I'm at his residence now. I speak now. Some members of Parliament within the central region, like George Anda of the Newsroom West, Kujapini of Gumwa, these are MPs who are closer to the disease. So I've seen some of them here now. Body of the disease has been moved from the Scotland Hospital to Cape Coast Regional Hospital to be kept there.
What is the mood like there? Hello, Calvis, are you there?
Hello, Dziffa.
Yes.
Dziffa. So as we speak now, there are a lot of constituents, a lot of people have gathered at his house now in Mfantsiman. Most of them I spoke to actually start that this thing is happening to their MP. Although we can't confirm whether indeed it was a robbery incident, people I spoke to actually saying that they believe this incident was a robbery incident and this didn't happen to the MP. The information I also picked up from here was that the MP filed his nomination yesterday. So after he filed his nomination, he then headed to his hometown to go and campaign there. So on his way coming from his hometown, at around 1 a.m., this incident started.
Wow. And what more are you hearing from the people there? Because this is a great loss to the people of Mfantsiman.
The people here, most of them think.
It looks like we have lost connection. Go ahead.
He stands a chance of winning the election. So they are thinking that maybe some people planned and then they killed him. But that is the information I picked here, but that one we can't substantiate it. But from what I picked here, some people are saying they believe that the MP is confident of winning the elections. So they are thinking that maybe it must desire to kill him so that they will prevent him from actually going to the December 7th election.
So, Calvis, do you know whether he was traveling alone or there were other people in his company, and what has happened to them?
Okay, information I picked up from here once again was that he was traveling with some people in his company. So when the robbers actually attacked them, they asked those people in his company to actually out of the car. So once they got what I also learned was that the robbers were in a taxi. So once they got to the area where he was, party people with him to come down from the car, and then they asked who was Eko Kwansa Hayford, and then he raised his hand, and then the robbers shot at him, and then quickly he left the scene.
Okay, so then, but from the report that you're recounting just now, then it then sounds like a contract killing of some sort.
Yes, exactly.
So I do know, where you are right now, are there security people around? Is there chaos? Is there calm? What's the mood like?
Yes, it's quite a powerful mood here. There is heavy security presence here to prevent anything from happening. It's quite powerful atmosphere here. most people in the constituency actually sad that this thing has happened to their MP.
All right, Calvis, thank you very much for speaking to us. I'm sure we'll get some more updates from you as the day unfolds.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Calvis.
And, you know, for me, murder is just something that we cannot entertain. There are so many things that have happened within that region, especially in Kumasi. An SDA man was gunned down at some point in Kumasi. A pastor was gunned down.
Yeah.
So many things have happened across the country. We just dealt with within Accra, the professor who was brutally murdered in his own home, you know, and I don't even know what to say. I can't even excuse it that it's a mental health issue or people are just going crazy, but we do know that every time we're getting into an election season, things like this spring up, you know, and it's time for us to actually really empathize with our leaders and everyone who's lost someone this year.
Yeah, I think that it's important for the security services, the leadership of the country, those who are responsible and tasked with the capacity, okay, and responsibility to get to the excuse me, to get to the bottom of such things, right? I find it, you know, unacceptable that after all these years, right, JB Dankwa's situation, for example, is still in court, okay, and pretty much still unresolved. I don't understand, you know, what it is that we're doing to ourselves, because this is a high-profile MP, right? And if this can happen to him, look at what has happened to Eko Kwanzaa, right? So what is it that, look, if somebody says, stop, everybody get out of the vehicle, then they ask you specifically who you are, and they open fire on you. There's no question here what's going on, right? Now, if this is what has happened, why are we not able to get to the bottom of it? I mean, I am calling on all the authorities, the security services, everybody that's responsible and in charge to make sure that the perpetrators are brought to book and quickly, you know, not this long drawn out, after 4 years, 5 years, we are still playing around with the issue, you know, and I think we need to deal with this as soon as possible.
Yes, and the NDC in Fatima actually released a statement saying that they've suspended their campaign because of the death. So I'll read a brief from that. We have been awakened with unpleasant and extremely sad news of the barbaric murder of Honorable Eko Kwanzaa Hayford, MP and NPP parliamentary candidate for Mfantsiman by unknown armed robbers, according to various media reports, as well as eyewitness accounts of the Mfantsiman constituency, MPP's first vice chairman, and we write to express our deepest condolences to the family. I think the entire nation should, you know, take a moment of silence, because someone has lost their dad, someone has lost their son, and we need to ensure that we nip this in the bud. We cannot afford this right now as a nation.
Yeah. Well, we do have a lot coming up in the show, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello Ghanaians, my name is Mrs. Kosi Yankee Aye. I am the Executive Director for the National Board for Small Scale Industries, NBSSI. Through the CABAS initiative, we have disbursed funds to over 100,000 beneficiaries across the nation. Several local businesses have seen the impact of our work, and we will continue to give more of them hope amidst this global pandemic era that has negatively impacted all of us.
NBSSI, a new era for SMEs.
There is no promise we cannot keep. There is no commitment we cannot honor. There is no delivery we cannot guarantee. There is only one Bethel Logistics Company Limited, a licensed international freight forwarding and clearing agent, a trusted global brand with an extensive network for the movement of air freight and ocean freight worldwide. We are the trusted name for road freight into Western and Northern Africa. We are fully accredited by Ghana Customs and Excise. We cater for all your freight forwarding, customs clearing and forwarding, cross trades, inland transportation, internal cargo tracking systems, customer freight costing and consultancy, cold chain logistics management, logistics and warehousing, quality inspection, and much more. In Accra, Tema, and Takrady, we are always available to ensure easy movement of cargo countrywide. Call us on 0204 528 900 or 0244 707 859. Email info@bethellogistics.com. Locate us in Accra at North Ridge, adjacent Accra Girls High School, or in Tema at Community 4, or in Takrady on the second floor of the GCB building. Website bethellogistics.com. Bethelog, experts in shipping logistics.
So this one says, Jessica, I've been with this lady for about 6 years now. Truly, I never loved her, but she kept helping me with money, and I've been able to set up 3 businesses. Truth be told, I can't marry this lady because I don't love her. I don't have any feelings for her. I've tried many times to call it quits, but she doesn't want to give in. I made several attempts to push her away, but she keeps telling me that she loves me and doesn't want to lose me. When she does that, I sympathize with her and tolerate her. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do to get her out of my life. Can you imagine I haven't given her access to my house for about 6 months now, but she doesn't seem perturbed about it? Jess, mim peno for Chantel, that means I don't love her. What should I do? Frustrated Collins sends in that message.
If Collins didn't like this lady, he wouldn't have accepted anything from her.
Let's not jump into conclusion and think that, okay, she helped him necessarily means that she gave him all the money to start the business. What if he had the money, she had the connections, she made a few phone calls?
Oh. When you really don't like someone, you don't even want their attention.
Like, at which point in time from day one didn't you know that it wasn't right? A whole man like you, just a very idea.
Sister Sisters proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana. The future is exciting. Ready?
His Excellency Ian Walker, the High Commissioner of Great Britain to Ghana, brought me here. And, Charlie, I'm suffering, but I'm persevering.
Nearly there.
Okay. Okay, let me go this way.
Effortless. Well done.
It doesn't feel like that.
Made it look easy. What do you mean? No problem.
How do you do this?
We talk about living in a global village, right? It's not enough. I mean, social media has taught us that.
Sorry to interrupt your good conversation, but I just thought I'd like to introduce some succulent Scottish black pudding.
Oh, look at that! Oh, wow.
All the way from Scotland.
Oh, this is amazing.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you've absolutely made my day. Have you tried this before?
No.
This is sensational. It's hot, but oh my goodness. Mm.
I won't tell you what it's made of. But
This is good though.
Oh.
welcome back. It's time for us to have a conversation, a very, very important one, and this is about a reading culture in Ghana. I've been joined by Oswald Okaite, who is he's a poet and also the project ambassador for Ghana Reads. Good morning, Oswald. How are you doing?
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Of course, I'm super excited.
Really?
Yeah, you can see the uniform.
Okay. The other thing.
6.
Okay, well, we'll give it to you. I mean, celebrate.
No, we have to celebrate. You know, when the issue of finding solution to the COVID came, the real science school came up. 6.
Okay, let's get on to Ghana Reads. So the whole reading culture in Ghana, I mean, for me, I find that there's so much to do, you know, in terms of creating excitement, grassroots excitement amongst children to read. I know that Ghana Reads has been doing a lot, and this year you've already started your celebrations or events for the year. Tell us what you've been up to so far and what you're looking forward to in the next few days.
Okay, well, I have to thank Citi TV. For the past 3 years, Citi TV has been supportive, Citi FM as well, and I know that is one of the visions of the station, both. Well, the project seeks to make reading fun, and then forever the theme would be to update the black man, put it in a book. We want to drop that erroneous assertion to hide anything from the black man, put it in a book. I know the more this is said and people keep hearing, they accept it.
Yeah.
In a way, it discourages people from trying to correct it. And so that is what forever the theme would be, to update the black man, put it in a book. Well, these whole ideas, I've always said, it came up when I represented Ghana in at Storimoja in Nairobi.
Okay.
And the whole festival has got to do with encouraging Africans to read. And one of their largest television network, Kenyan television network, we had a discourse, and it was about Africans don't like reading. But I stood against that notion. Well, I feel Africans do not fall victim to what we always say. We like reading, but the choice of material and how we encourage to read. Because in school, you have to read your book.
Anyway, yeah.
You have to read things fall apart, even whether you like it or because there's an obligation. The Christian would have to wake up, the religious Christian would have to wake up, read the Bible, if any dose of material regarding faith, like the Muslim, will have to read the Quran, and etc. And so the issue has got to do with reading fiction literature, reading for leisure. So the question
is for leisure.
Yes. So you want to watch telenovelas, you want to watch movies.
Yeah.
Of course, you can watch that movie by reading, because the book in itself is a movie in print. You get me? So how do we encourage people to do that?
Yeah.
Well, you have to move to the well-to-do families. You realize that they do reading because their parents encourage them to read.
Yeah.
No, and unfortunately, that population side is small. It's evident for the fact for us to say that we don't like reading. The vast majority are those in the inner cities and the zongos.
Yeah.
So once we see them doing the leisure reading, then we'll come to the fact that yes, we are getting somewhere. Ghana is becoming a reading nation. So when I came back, I decided to pick this as my project as a Pan-African poet and spoken word artist for 2016. I decided to pick this up and then encourage reading. Now, to encourage reading in these areas, we need to revamp the community libraries. How do you revamp the community libraries? We need to stock them with books. Well, one thing I realized was a lot of people didn't like reading because sometimes they are not able to associate themselves with what they are reading.
Okay.
So take someone from Choko reading a book that is set in London and talking about snow when they do not see. You get me? It was going to be very difficult. So I decided, why don't we encourage our publishers to produce more fiction literature? They can set the story in Choko. So whoever is reading from Choko will get to know that, okay, this is what we are talking about. And so in order to encourage the publishers, then we have to encourage me, you, individuals who are well-to-do, corporate institutions, to buy the books from the publishers, because they always say when you produce, people don't like reading, so who buys? So the whole project is me, you, people well-to-do, corporate institutions get selected book that is published in Ghana with Ghanaian setting for the libraries. So the children have their books kept in the libraries for them. And then we get society icons like Apiako is going to do, the former second lady, and we move to these societies. So Choko, Kolegono, Jamestown, Kakudi, and from month to month we have reading sessions with the personalities. And one good thing is, we do not make the personality finish reading. We read to a particular extent and we leave it for the children to go and complete.
Okay.
And the next time we meet them, we are able to discuss what they read.
Okay, fantastic. I like the idea. So, when is the next reading happening? When is the next event happening?
Well, we just, we always, it's more like a cycle. So we start every first Wednesday in October. Because people don't know this, we don't celebrate much. Every first Wednesday in October is International Reading Day.
Okay.
So every first Wednesday, like we did, just the past Wednesday, we had to commemorate. We had to end the last cycle to begin a new cycle. So we had a physical session at Kwalegono Community Library, and we had the likes of Manasseh Azuri, the former second lady, so many people from different walks of life came to do reading sessions with them. And so what we're doing now, we're doing the virtual session. So yesterday we had a virtual reading with Abdul Hayumumen, who's a journalist and then an author from his book, Thoughts of a Professional Gossip. And in the evening we had Voice of Caution by Manasseh Azuri. So he also read on Zoom. So this afternoon, what we are going to do is to have a review of Professor Lado Wasunu's poems that have been translated from English to Ghanaian languages by the Bureau of Ghana Languages. So at 2 p.m., we're going to do that by Zoom, and we're going to have review, and it's going to be moderated by Caleb of Radio Universe. And then in the evening, your own Apioko Seram will be reading from the Matrix verse. So it's going to be Zoom reading. And then tomorrow...
That's this evening?
This evening at 6 p.m. So at 2 p.m. we had a review of the poems translated to Ghanaian languages by the Bureau of Ghana Languages. And then at 6 p.m. we have Zoom reading with Apioko from the Matrix verse, and then we have discussion. And then tomorrow we end with reading from Dr. Jessica Gambela, who is the former Deputy Minister of Finance during President Kufuor's regime, who's going to read from Eben Grant, all the way from America.
Wow, that's a fantastic lineup. And okay, so after the readings that we're going to get via Zoom, what are they? This is going to round up the events for this season?
No, this actually the waking up of the event.
Okay.
So like I mentioned, we have different schedules. We're going to move to Jamestown with personalities
so
like
you're
the
going
Valerie.
to localities.
So like Apioko, this is not just the Zoom, but we're going to take Apioko to a community like Kaukudi. And we select a book, so she reads with them, and then we move to Choco with another person like John Dumelo. We keep moving to the societies and keep reading. So, like I mentioned, it's a cycle. Ours is not just an event, it's a project. And so we call on individuals to buy the book. So this year, we are using the sanitation officer. And I think it's very relevant because it's got to do with cleanliness, and it was published by Adjunsan. Adjunsan has been very supportive from the beginning. And let me mention this year's edition, because of the COVID, it has been individuals who contributed to have this, and that alone.
Oh, wow.
So we have someone like Lizzie Siedu who had to go and buy the nose mask for us to do that. We had Nana Kabuko Dumali, who is the paramount queen of Ada, buying the refreshments for the children. The former second lady, Mrs. Matilda Ms. Arthur, also had to come in with people. We had the president of Ghana Book Publishers. Individuals had to contribute so that we have this session. And so it's been interesting. And then we have FOSDA, Foundation for Security and Development in Africa. I know we are struggling getting the hard copy books. So we decided to move to e-book version, and FOSDA, Foundation for Security and Development, had to sponsor a production of such, and we put on Reader app. So children will not just have to move to the internet for Facebook and Twitter, but then they have to they go there to read online, they download free, etc., etc.
How do people join? I know you said it was by Zoom.
So for this very session, Zoom, so I think it was put on your screens, but you can visit Ghana Reads with exclamation, Ghana Reads with exclamation on Facebook and on Twitter to get the IDs.
Link will be there.
Free, it's just free participation. So if you want to, you can call 0244-174908, 0244-174908, 0244-174908, so we can have more discussion after this place.
Now, finally, before you leave us, for me, I think that the e-book idea is great, but I'm also wondering that you go to localities like Jamestown, you mentioned Kaukudi, how easy will it be for children in these localities that are not as well to do, for them to be able to go online and access the online books?
Oh, well, the online one is just not for those at Choco or those at Kaukudi. It's for all the children. And so that's one aspect.
But I'm referring to the fact that
I'm going to come to that.
Okay.
When you move to, I grew up in Mamprovia, Alaji, and so I had chance. And when you move there, the children go to the internet. They're able to browse, etc. So they have not just the phone,
so
but
they're able to access the internet.
So we want to make them understand that it's not just about browsing, etc. But when you move in there, you can still move and get books to read. So you can move in almost all of that. But our focus, we are working to get hard copies. So like Nino Sanitation was published by Adwinsan, and we are talking to Adwinsan, ready to reduce. So if an institution decides to buy the book, it's at reduced price. They go get the books and then they give us a call, say that we bought these books for you, so go get it. And then Adwinsan has promised that once you buy a particular number of books, like the Citi TV is buying, they put Citi TV's logo behind and we take it to the children.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Oswald. Thank you very much. Please put out the number again one more time.
0244-174908, 0244-174908, or you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Ghana Reads
with an exclamation mark,
because we are doing a lot of emphasis.
Fantastic. We've been speaking with Oswald Okaite, and he's a poet and also the project ambassador for Ghana Reads. We'll be right back after this break.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial mouthwash formula and deep cleaning gel. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath.
Equinfi Juice Factory is a 1D1F initiative funded by Ghana Exim Bank. Each juice brand, Equinfi Fruit Juice, is made from fresh pineapple and its quality is impeccable. All raw materials used in its production are purchased here in Ghana. The entire value chain has helped the community prosper by creating jobs for many Ghanaians, from farming, distribution, and retail. Due to its great taste and brand promotion, Equinfi Juice is available in supermarkets and shops all over Ghana. And just like Equinfi Juice Factory, there are other factories set up across the country under the 1D1F initiative in areas such as shea production, poultry, pharmaceuticals, sweet potatoes, avocado, tomatoes, mangoes, and more local businesses which are creating jobs and expected revenue. At Ghana Exim Bank, we call this the Made in Ghana 4P: produce, promote, purchase, and prosper. If as a people we believe in the Ghana beyond aid, then let's prosper as a nation by producing, promoting, and purchasing our own products. Let's support Made in Ghana, and let's take Made in Ghana to the world. One district, one factory. Ghana at work. Ghana Exim Bank, facilitating Ghana's international trade.
In the part 2 of Abdul Razak's episode on footprints, he laments how the Ghana Football Association and Kumasi Asante Kotoko have been unfair to him after he featured for both teams in his prime as a footballer.
I didn't have any regrets. We thought we were playing for the nation.
Of course.
Sacrifice, yes,
yeah,
sure.
I mean, looking back.
Yeah, but the nation doesn't look to us, especially when you leave the national or you don't play anymore. That's the when I saw Paha. PSK Power. If I have not, the way the person will come, if I don't know him, I will not know even a footballer. He can't even walk. Wow. They were in his house or whatever he stayed. He said anniversary. Somebody got it and sent to me. It's coming out. So I know him. That's why you never think he even kick a mango even before. Wow. You never recognize him. Power is finished. Since Alifu died, goalkeeper, stroke. Who knows him? Nobody knows. Die.
But the FA wasn't fair to you.
Yeah.
Kotoko also, as a club hasn't been fair to you.
Yeah, sure.
Why?
I'm a footballer.
Yeah.
A footballer finished playing, and then if you want to be coach, then you need a team to work with. I came to Accra. I met one, what do you call it, Bill Butler. At that time was the FA this thing.
Yeah, Nana Bill Butler, yeah.
I decided to stop. I can continue playing at that time. I can, but I think, what again, you need a Cup of Nations, you win the leagues here and there, you travel here and there, so what do I need to play again? I will stop and go into coaching.
Catch this episode on Footprints this Saturday at 9 a.m. and I repeat on Sunday at 4 p.m. only on Citi TV. Citi TV, it's your world.
Footprints is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
What's up, everybody? It's Citi TV. It's your back. I got my brother Okoto behind the guitar. Yeah, it's lit. Yeah. See, we sucking the handy, we popping the molly, we burning leaves on it. We dressing me who ye ne hinty sausage of Remy my money. Hey, Massa would they make out 2020? I need my money. Cause I refuse to be broke like Moogie's. Your friend go me. So do me ja. No, Obenyanka dame da phone panicha one it. Na say Joe me red, walk straight up. I'ma look up. Nobody want down, we won't go up. Career be bando, I want up. Negative energies are they cut off. Yeah, hey. Obiando so unti ama asumje. Yeah, people go pretend and do like they love you. Oh, you're going into dream, reminisce, Gavimpie. Maka, I'm in my house. Come and beat me, yeah. Man, I've been in the street, pure water rubber. And I hustle all day, me near border. Please, I be what me I ask for, no be opinion. So my brother, shut up. Ooh, hey. I probably can say how things go change. Buy some 2020 range. Hey, Madam Wanka Woka. Sunyami adum timisiga timito filling station. Go journey total. Oh, me advert me a local. Hey. Yeah, the sound of my little bro makes when he sees me on TV. Promise mama, Bentley and jet ski punch. Opiando so unti ama asumge. People could pretend and do like say they love you. I am going into dream reminisce Gavimpie. Maka, I'm in my house. Come and beat me, yeah. Charlie, switch it. Yeah, mom. Just over there out here, this Citi TV. I go by the name of Yalbert, and I have a cutter behind the guitar. It's fun. It's late. Let's go. You already know the song. Jam with me if you are home. You know, man, I rasta. If I go for a girl, now you. Now me be your something. If someone go cut my locks, now you. Yeah. I know. Sawana me do. Me know be wo. So just allow me, cause I'll be your man. You will be my woman. Me say you are grudging from my boo. Say, I will be your man, oh, you will be my woman. Don't me be said you are grudging from my boo. Gavin boy say, I say, now make you know they left baby day for my side. I know so many people who have a backbite, so me and you, we go ride on the bike. In a the dark, you be my light, oh, and you may be out, yeah, whoa, we be the boss, my brain, oh. Baby, I go love you, tire. Oh, Betty. Baby, give me loving. Make we fly, go Santorini to Monaco. You already know, baby, you ready to do. And when I say your bumper, the jump girl, I know 59. My love, but I know be number 9. Make we all night, oh, Betty, another. So I will be a man, oh. Be my woman. Don't me visit you are grudging from my.
How are you? We seen you in a minute.
Yeah, you know.
What have you been up to?
I've been in the corner.
Your dreads have grown.
Yeah, it's growing by the grace of God, Charlie.
I don't know why you covered it with your dread.
Oh, it's cool, you know. I've not worked on it for a while now.
Oh, so. You've been up to?
Yeah, so it's been ups and downs when we got on the path of, artistry and music.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple of ups and downs, and then we have a couple of good sides as well. So
let's talk about the good sides.
Yeah, so yeah, we dropped an EP last year, 2019.
Nice.
I Am Your Back EP. It's still great. I performed records on it right now, so you can check it out. And we have Independent Lady Remix out featuring Kelvin Boy and Miss V.
Nice.
You can check it out on YouTube and every digital platform. But we are here to do more, so let's just support. Yeah.
What more are you going to do? You have to give us something before the year ends.
Yeah, most definitely.
At least a single.
Right now, I want to drop singles. So we have the next single coming up, like maybe next 2 weeks.
Nice.
Hopefully,
so we're going to get something before 2020 is over. Can you give us a glimpse of what it might be about? Maybe your struggles, maybe the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right now, I want to surprise people because people tend to downplay music by emotions and stuff. So right now, I just want to put music out there that will talk for the soul, for people to connect.
How's the year been for you, though?
It's been rough. You know, we all know I had crisis back then, and it really affected my promo and everything. People I really connect to, the connection got broke. But yeah, you don't have to stay back. The loser is the quitter. Yeah, so yeah, I just have to hit the road again, and yeah, we are warming up better. I mean, Independent Lady Remix is doing well, so yeah.
Good. And speaking of Independent Lady, share your YouTube handles with us so that we can subscribe, share, comment
to YouTube.
We have to support Yalberg. So know you've had a tough year, but you'll make it through.
Thank you so much.
Any advice for up-and-coming artists? You've been through it. You've gone on to, you're surviving and you're going to thrive.
Sure.
Any lessons that you want to share with up-and-coming young artists?
The little I can share is, no matter how it is, it's not everybody that's going to understand you, but just keep pursuing your passion. And yeah, pray, God first. God, is the one who puts kings on thrones, so yeah, God first. That's it. So just believe in what you do and pray.
Thank you. Share your YouTube channel with us, your social media handles, all your singles, so we can go and buy them.
Go everywhere. Google me, Yalberg. I did that. The songs, everything they Google. But if you want to get me on social media, it's at Yalberg_ or Yalberg official on Instagram and Twitter. And YouTube, my page is Yalberg, and then YouTube, Facebook too, Yalberg. Just go everywhere. Just search Yalberg. They out here, Citi TV. Boom.
Thank you so much, Yalberg. Now, earlier this week, I interviewed a very powerful woman. I won't give it away. When it comes to brain gain, when it comes to developing our human capital in this country and on this continent, I can't think of a better person who has done more for our development. So I'll just throw that interview right there so you take a look at it. And don't forget to comment, like, and share the content with your friends so they will be inspired as well. Let's take a look. Welcome back. It's Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, our personality today is going to help us appreciate the value of brain gain. She was born and raised outside Ghana 10 years ago. She came back to Ghana to help Ghanaian businesses grow and help individuals also grow within their profession. I'm talking about Irene Asare, the CEO of Carving Clay. Throughout the conversation with her, if you have any questions, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana, you can use the country code +233 and we will get your messages. Good morning, Irene.
Good morning, Dziffa.
How are you?
I am great, and it's fantastic to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Irene? Sorry.
Who is Irene? A big question for this morning, but I would just sort of describe myself as a very determined woman who likes to problem solve and to go to places where others don't want to go or are not deemed to go. I feel like I just like to, I wouldn't say I'm a rule breaker, but I like to be different. I like to set the pace. I like to be creative. I think also I'm a mother, a mother of 3 strong boys.
Wow.
And
you look good. Like,
thank
I'm
you.
walking down the street with you, no one will know you have
That's great. That's great. I'm a wife. I'm dedicated. I'm a family person, but I'm really, I guess, ambitious. I want to make an impact. I want to do something different for people. I'm all about people's growth, people's development. So I think that's how I would describe myself.
At what point in your life did you realize that you were so passionate about the growth of people?
I think I've always been good at relating to people and talking to people. And I think after a while I felt like, actually, this is something I could do as a profession. I started to feel like, actually, I'm good at this. So I should continue doing this. I think for me, what's important, just having conversations with people, giving them advice, giving them support, and people taking it on and listening intensely. And that was great advice that you gave, or finding a solution. I think it gave me a lot more confidence that I could help people. And I just love to see people grow. I love to see people develop.
How was life like in the UK as a child to Ghanaian immigrant parents?
Oh, I had a fantastic upbringing, I have to say. I had a great childhood. I mean, my mum and dad did an amazing job with us, with my sister and my 2 brothers. So but what was interesting about the UK is there was always something slightly different. You know, having parents that are Ghanaian, you know, we spoke a different language at home, and then you had to kind of, when you go out of the house, you kind of speak English, or your mum speaking Tree with you, and then, you know, flipping to a different language outside. You could always sense there was a difference. I had lots of aunties and uncles who were obviously family friends, you know.
And your friends would be like, you have a lot of aunties.
I'm telling you, a lot. And then, to be honest, I didn't even notice that they really weren't my real family. But I think it was lovely. I mean, we had lots of Ghanaian foods, the culture. My dad was very, very strong on the Ashanti culture, for example. So we always were very familiar with that side. But equally, he was really open-minded. My parents were open-minded. We had a lot of discipline, but we had freedom as well. So I felt like it was a great balance and an ability to connect with my culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was your first time back to Ghana, and how was that like for you?
I came back to Ghana for the first time when I was 18. 18. So I was a proper British girl that landed in Accra.
And we didn't have
I'm telling you, I remember Dziffa very clearly. I was like, I'm not going to eat for a month. I'm probably going to be in a village environment.
What did you think of Ghana and Africa?
My goodness, lots and lots of black people, you know, very backward.
Tarzan.
I'm telling you, and it's amazing, isn't it? That's the first thought that you have. But I was still very intrigued, and I wanted to go. So my mum brought me, and I have to say, clearly I'm here now. I was amazed, and I felt I fit in. I think that was the first sense that I had. I felt like I breathe the air and I fit in, and this is home and this is me. And I had a very romantic view, and I had a great time. I mean, back then we used to party.
Really?
We still do. So, you know, going out there and partying and meeting.
Did you tour in Ghana?
We did Glenn's Miracle Mirage, you know, those back then we had all of those, a bus stop, you know, all of that. It was fantastic. It really, really was fantastic.
How long were you around?
When I used to come, it was holidays, so 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then we would leave, and then the depression would set in when we got back.
Why?
Because I think that, you know, there was so much freedom. You felt like you were meeting your own, you were relating, you were having so much fun, you were exploring. We would go from Accra to Kumasi to Cape Coast to other parts of Ghana. You're free, you're on holiday, you know, and then you come back and you've got to go back to work, study, you know, get serious. The weather.
But what did that journey teach you about your identity? Because we just had the Year of Return last year, and a lot of African Americans, you know, Black British people who came here were like, for the first time ever, I felt like a human being?
Yeah. I think the identity issue for me has been long ongoing. So from very young, you can definitely see that when you grow up in the UK, you're different. Back then, when I was growing up, there were not many Ghanaians in the system, if you like, around. So I grew up with lots of West Indians, Nigerians, and obviously English people. So you could sense that your background was different. I still felt comfortable in the UK, but I knew in the back of my mind something was missing. So I think the whole journey of me being here where I am today was probably quite purposeful on my part, because I felt that eventually, I didn't know how, I would probably end up in Ghana.
Wow.
So I felt a strong connection, and I think over the years, the ability to give back in some way, and I don't mean it condescendingly, but my skill, my expertise, my knowledge, to be able to give that to the country that I sort of call as home was really important to me. So I think the UK has certainly shaped me, and I'm eternally grateful, and I love being, you know, the British here for sure. I think it's definitely shaped me, but I appreciate the role it's played in my journey to date.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to 10 years ago when you decided that you were going to come invest your skill, your talent into Ghana.
Yeah.
How was that decision like?
That was really interesting. I made that decision, me and my husband made that decision in a month.
Really?
And
was it that easy?
And in 2 months we were here.
Wow.
And I think it was because we'd been starting to talk about, let's explore, you know, the opportunity to go back home. But we agreed on a few things. We said that we would move only for the right opportunity. I didn't want to dent my career, like you said, top of my game at that point. I wanted to make sure I moved with the right organization, the right company. So that opportunity came along. I joined Vodafone Ghana, and I came over. And if I thought long and hard about it, maybe I wouldn't be here.
Why?
Because I think that I would talk myself out of it. Already, I remember it very, very well, Dziffa. It was a March, it was cold, it was snowing. I remember it vividly. And I remember telling a few friends, because I didn't want to tell too many people because he wasn't quite sure. And, you know, a few friends said, oh, great. A few friends said, what are you doing? Do you know what you're doing?
Through a midlife crisis,
I'm telling you, you know, some friends said, oh, you'll be back in 6 months. So I felt like I had the UK, I guess, at the back of my mind. But we were very open-minded. And honestly, we didn't really know what we were coming into or what we would experience, because my husband also hadn't worked in Ghana. So we were both experiencing this for the first time. And we've had a great experience.
How was the first couple of months like? I mean, your kids are in a new environment. You were in a new office, a different country, even though you see that's home. How was that like
that
for you?
That was really interesting. I'll tell you a little story. My youngest at the time was just 1.5. We landed, and then he started throwing up.
Wow.
We were like, And then he got food poisoning on the flight.
Oh gosh.
And we then were rushing. It was surreal. And I think at that moment, a couple of days after, we were like, what are we doing? You know, that
reality kind of.
You know, that was a big reality check. And then I think going into the office, I was like, you know, I had this romantic view. Remember, I was saying, I'm telling you, I was like, I'm Superwoman. I'm going to sort everything out. I also had a romantic view of it's party. So we'll do a little bit of work. I was so wrong on every level. I met, and it's important to say, I met fantastic people that were equally or even better qualified and experienced, right? I met wonderful people that I could engage with. I met people I could challenge, and they could challenge me. So I think, you know, of course, I came in to do a major job, and I got a lot of support. What was also interesting and a little bit disheartening, I have to say, is, you know, coming in and it's like, oh, this woman who's got this accent, you're not Ghanaian. I'm like, I have just come from somewhere where I feel like I'm not quite fitting, and then I come home. That was tough. I think for about 6 months I was like,
6 months.
Comments were made, you don't fit in, you're not one of us, you're not. And I think, to be fair, I think lots of people felt we were not going to stay anyway. Yeah. And we probably came with our two known selves. So, we had to blend, we had to fit in, we had to find our way. But what's interesting, after about 6 months, I said, you know what? It's not my problem. Yeah. I'm absolutely Ghanaian. It's not about where I was born, it's about who I am. And so I'm a passport holder, I'm Ghanaian, my parents are, and so on, and I'm proud, and that's my attitude.
How do we handle that? Because not everyone will be as strong as you are. There are people who would just leave because they feel unwanted. So from the side of us locals, maybe we don't relate to the diaspora people when they come with their big English, but how do we empathize with them, and how do you guys also empathize with us? Let me take back my superwoman perception and really meet people where they are.
I think you're right. I think it's a two-way street. It's a two-way relationship. I think I would say, speaking on behalf of some of the diasporas, is we mean well, we want to do good, we've got a lot of experience and exposure that we can absolutely offer and we can bring. I think that we need to be more humble, we need to be more relatable, because actually we are generally very similar in our thoughts. We want the best. I think it is about our approach and how we go about doing things as well. I mean, there are many reasons why also diasporas come to Ghana, right, or come back. Some of it is to do the give back, some of it is it wasn't really working out over there. There are many reasons. So I think that we need to be humble and understand, and I think you need to take time to assess your environment and not go charging in. Equally, what I would say about Ghanaians who are born and raised here and who are here is be open-minded. I find sometimes there are a lot of cliques. So if you're not part of the clique, you're not let in. So, and I think it's interesting, and I don't always think people know that they're consciously doing it, but it's a bit like if we all went to the same school, or we all went to the same church, or we tend to stick together. And I think we should try and be a bit open-minded about letting people in. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I think just being conscious about that. And I think we can have a great relationship. In fact, we do have a great relationship. I know lots of people that I engage with. We have different upbringings, of course. If I meet somebody who's grown up in America, they're very different to how I grew up as in the UK or Germany and so on. So we all have to find our way, and I think we just have common interests. One thing I will say, I remember my oldest son, when he moved and he went to school, one thing he said about Ghana, and he grew up in the UK for a long time, he said, there's one place I feel that I can laugh and be myself. And I think there is no boundaries of being diaspora or being Ghanaian. We generally laugh at the same things. We find the same things funny. You know, we have those commonalities.
So we have to make it work.
Absolutely.
Now, when we talk about, natural resources, especially in Ghana, we're looking at cocoa, we're looking at gold, we're looking at bauxite. Sometimes we lose sight of human capital. What has your experience been investing in human capital?
I think, what would I say? We still have a long way to go, if I'm honest. We still have a long way to go. But equally, there's lots of opportunities. When I've come over the last 10 years, at least on the continent, I see companies investing in their human capital. I see companies at the top of their game. They've got the development programs, they've got the systems, they've got a great culture, they've got great structures, and people are growing and developing. We're hearing all the time about various awards, accomplishments, so it's happening, definitely. However, there is a proportion in the country that needs support and help and need to see the value. Right, I still sometimes in 2020, I'm still talking about human capital as an administrative function in organizations. And I can tell you the best organizations have great cultures, they have great people, they have great systems, they have great structures. I think I would say to a lot of business owners out there, take the time to invest in it. It will pay you in the long run tenfold. Because if you are a business owner, you think at the moment you don't need to have those structures. I've spoken to some clients that now they're like, oh, if we had started at the beginning with systems and structures and particular policies, we wouldn't be where we are now. Because 10 years down the line, the culture is formed. It's an amazingly difficult job to kind of reverse that culture. So I would say that on the continent, and not just Ghana, because I've worked across Nigeria, I've worked across Angola, I've worked across Ivory Coast and so on, in South Africa, of course. There is similarities. We're people, we're humans. We want the same things. We want recognition. We want good terms and conditions. We want meaningful work to do. So I think that's what I would say.
What has been your experience across the continent? You mentioned a few countries.
It's been interesting. I mean, each country has its different cultures. But fundamentally, like I said, we are quite similar. You know, so for example, when I went to South Africa, we all know the backdrop of issues that they've had in the past. They also still need talent development. They still need growth. They still are looking for opportunity. They're advanced in some areas. I would say Ghana are advanced in others. They've got many, you know, they've got BEE challenges and so on. So it's a big economy, big opportunities there. Where if you compare when I've worked in Nigeria, definitely go-getting, determined spirit, you know, go. And there is so much competition. So everybody's working, how can I stand out amongst the crowd? So there is a lot of attention and activity, but equally there are some areas for growth and development. When I look at Ghana, we all know our country here and what we need to do and take it to the next level. But in each of the countries that I've worked in, I've met amazing talent. Amazing talent. Equally, I have met talent that I think needs to be developed and nurtured and grown as well. So we really do have similar but different issues and challenges. And part of what I'm trying to do in my organisation now is help across the continent raise that practice. Because like I said, I'm still surprised when I go into certain organisations, we don't have that basic level of HR practice.
Speaking of HR, a lot of people within that space sometimes focus so much on helping the company reach their goals that they lose sight of the fact that their employees are also mothers, fathers, humans beyond just a number at the job. How do they humanize the way they do their work?
I think that's really important, and I think, Dziffa, if nothing else, COVID has taught us a lot. Human life is valuable and precious. You know, when we think about times where you've been a go-getter and you're trying to get to the top, at what cost? You know, at some point, everyone will step aside. We all talk about, you know, if you're not there tomorrow, the organisation will find a replacement, right? So I think that what I would say to business leaders, first of all, is also talent. Good talent is hard to find. You want to nurture your people. You want to get the best. You know, we are all at the end of the day you also can't do that. But I tell you, people respect people that have integrity, and their yes is their yes and their no is their no. They know where they stand, and they respect employers that even have an open mind. So I would say to business leaders and managers and so on, think about that, because when you start to develop a culture that's toxic, bad news gets around fast. You know, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that organisation, oh, you don't want to go there. People don't stay. There's turnover to your business. Equally, I would say to us as employees of businesses, you know, we've come to do a job. You know, the employer has invested money into growing their business. If we have a successful business, we have a long-term opportunity and job. We have growth. We have many opportunities. Let us make the most of it, particularly now in our environment. We really don't know what's going to happen in our future.
And speaking of COVID, I mean, some of the companies have struggled with employees leaving the minute the going got tough. companies flat out laying people off without handling it with a bit more emotional intelligence. What lessons can we learn from what we've been through this year?
Yeah. I think there's going to be books upon books. There's so much information out there. I think that it's been tough for everyone. You know, business leaders, managers have had to make tough decisions, and I think most organizations took their time, hopefully, to make those decisions. But when you see that your business isn't thriving because you've been locked down for a couple of weeks and then people are not going out for a couple of months, you have to make some tough decisions. It really is about the way in which you communicate, Dziffa, with your employees. I mean, if you're going to go in there and just lay people off, but communicate, business isn't doing well, you can see business isn't doing well. If things improve, we'll certainly call you back, and we need to make some challenges. We need to survive. It's about survival, because we all can see it. I think what is important, go through a process of due care. The last thing we want in COVID is the Labour courts, the Labour Commission, having more issues that could be avoided. So I think that's one thing I would say to employees. Please don't take it personal. It really is a tough decision. I'm a business owner. Making these calls, you do have sleepless nights. You do worry about staff. You do worry about livelihood. We are very, very cognizant of the fact that we create livelihoods for people. So I think as employees, I know it's difficult, but right now is a time to think about upskilling. What is it you can take in any difficult situation? I truly believe you can take something from it. And what will you take from it? Is this the time to say, actually, this is the time for me to kind of upskill. This is the time for me to learn more. This is the time for me maybe to go study for a while. This is the time for me to spend more time with my family. I mean, for me, for example, I've got to know my boys much more than I ever knew, and I thought we knew each other. You know, spending that quality time you can't take back. So there's a silver lining somewhere. Equally, I know the challenges that individuals will have. Irene, I'm at home, I've got nothing to do, I don't know when my next opportunity will come. Nobody can predict the future. What is important is to continue to have the right mindset so that new opportunity comes back, you're ready for it, and you can embrace it.
Speaking of new opportunities, you decided to become an entrepreneur.
I did.
During a pandemic.
I know.
I don't know what informs that.
I'm telling you, how strange, right? I sat down, I thought about it the other day, and I thought, my goodness, what am I doing? So just before the pandemic, like a week, just before the pandemic week, I decided, I've always wanted to run my own company and give back, and you know, I'm trying to fill a gap that's out there. So COVID comes and I think, what am I doing? My first reaction is, this isn't the right time. That's what everybody's saying. And then after a couple of weeks, Dziffa, I started to say, hold on a second. One topic that kept coming up is people. This is the time that organizations sit down, leaders say, actually, my organization isn't really working. I need to manage how I'm dealing with COVID. I need my best people. And I felt like all of a sudden the conversation started around, okay, we might have to lose people. How do we do that? We might have to restructure. How do we do that? A number of things came up, and it all centered around the business that I'm trying to do. So that's what gave me the confidence to continue to still keep doing what I'm doing, because I truly believe that this is definitely needed on the continent. An HR practice, an HR consultancy, an advisory service that really understands what goes on the continent, I think is really important.
And how did you want to differentiate Carvin Clay from all the big brands that
I know, my goodness. I think I like to differentiate for the fact that I'm leading it. I've got a lot of experience over 25 years doing HR practice. I think the fact that I've been fortunate over the last 10 years to be working on the continent and across these countries, I think has given me an added advantage. I think that I'm trying to challenge the status quo. When we see the status quo at the moment, it's the norm. Oh, go see the HR manager and do some admin. I want to bring other conversations to the table. When you have an HR person sitting in your boardroom, I can talk to you about the company's numbers, the company's performance, how that will impact productivity, the talent. You know, sometimes gaining the talent can make all the difference to your organization at that moment in time. Making sure we steer away from union issues or labor relations issues or employee engagement. So I feel that me leading with my years of experience helps. Having a dynamic team, you know, the ability to respond fast, the ability to respond quickly, the ability to know what you need. Why do I say that? Because I've sat on that side. I'm not coming from a pure consultant and, you know, doing lots of research. I've lived it. There are many situations I would be challenged to see situations I haven't known about or been exposed to, because I've worked also across so many different industries. So it's not just banking, telecoms, oil and gas, it's so many. So I feel that hopefully that's what will make us different, and I pride myself in my work. It's about the standard. You know, the type of standard I'm trying to set is really important.
How's the experience like building a brand new baby, coming from a place where you work with big brands? You walk into a room, everyone knows the brand that you're working with.
And then I go in as Irene.
Go in as CEO of Carving Clay.
CEO of Carving Clay. I think it's a transition. You have to be honest. It's a transition. You know, you go and your name speaks before you. I think that's still keeping me in good stead today, right? But I think it's a transition. I think also I got to the point in my career that I knew this is the next step for me. So I think your mindset has to change. You have to realize it. And I'm determined, Dziffa, to build the same reputation in this industry, in my new company. I'm determined that when we talk about HR practice in the future, Carving Clay is amongst the names that we talk about. So it's a challenge. It's still work in progress, I have to say, but I'm getting there. It's really about what I can deliver for you and the value that I can bring to your company. So that's the focus.
Let's talk about mentoring.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Why mentorship?
Oh, it's really dear to me. It's dear to me because, and I say this on two levels, and hopefully folks will understand. When I talk about the name Carving Clay, it's about carving a piece of wood and molding clay. And people think, when you bring that together, for me, it's about carving people. So me as an individual, as Irene, I've been carved throughout my career. I've been molded as a person, and I've been shaped to be who I am today. I think about that when I relate that immediately to mentorship. I've had some amazing people who have looked out for me. Managers, colleagues, people afar who've said, I see something in you and I want to help nurture that. I never had a formal mentoring program where this was deliberate. This was all ad hoc. So one of the things that I did when I came back or onto the continent is it was bugging me. I met a number of young, early career HR professionals that kept saying, can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor? And after a while, I had too many. And so I sat down and I thought, what is a program I can actually design that can be very deliberate? Because I'm concerned on two levels. I had a lot of people that were approaching me that needed help. They were the lone HR person in their organization. Their MDs and so on were not listening to them. They needed support. So I crafted this 12-month program. When I crafted this 12-month program, I said to myself, honestly, will people do this for 12 months? Will you know, assign you a mentor, come to monthly coaching sessions, have resource sessions. At those days, we didn't even do webinars. Come in, engage. And can you believe it? I did the first mentoring program. There were participants who never missed not one coaching session. I was really fortunate. I have amazing colleagues in the industry. I was able to pull on my other colleagues, other HR practitioners who came in and gave resource talks and had discussions. And Dziffa, I could see people develop. It's not something that I'm saying and it's a mentoring program. It has impacted people where HR professionals who were not confident have now grown confidence through the program. They also instantly created a network for themselves, which they didn't have before. So it's really about impact. You know, it makes a difference when you take time to invest in people. It really does.
And how important is it to pay it forward? Because I think as people, we're always focusing on what can I get, what can I get, how far can I get, without pausing to say, how can I pay this forward?
I think a lot of our mentors have exactly that mindset, because their view of the world is somebody did this for me in my career, so I'm going to do it for them. And I hope that we give the impression, at least for our mentees, that they will do it for their people. I think I would say it's really important. You know, we all needed a helping hand, and sometimes that's the difference in believing in yourself. You need sometimes someone to say, you're okay. Don't worry. You've had a bit. You've had a little bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
You can get
Tripped
back
a little bit. You didn't fall yet.
Absolutely. You can, because that's part of our stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot sit in front of you today and tell you I haven't had a few of those.
So share them with us, girl, because people are watching. We don't want people to quit their jobs overnight.
Oh my goodness.
So for people who may be looking at walking away from their jobs to start their own thing, I know you said a week before coronavirus, but what goes into the preparation? Because I think your first few months when that salary isn't coming in and this startup is just bleeding you dry, you eat a humble pie.
I'm telling you. And I think I have to be honest, you know, you do have those moments, and they are frequent, and they still come. They still come. I think that what I would say is, for someone who's at the point where you're not quite sure what you need to do next and you want to quit, I think never make a decision in the harshest of the, you know, when you're in the heat, because you think, yes, this is what I'm going to do. But in reality, you need to take time, step back. So what role have you played? The self-reflection is so important, because sometimes we often think it's them, it's the company, it's this. What role have you played in that? Do your homework. So before I stepped in to my company, I did some homework, some research, some business analysis. You have to do those boring, mundane things. You have to do some various projections to see if it's going to work for you. Aside that, you need to stop and think, why am I moving now? Is it a natural progression, or is it my company is this and I don't like them and they don't understand me and I don't like my manager? Think about the role that you play in that. Is there an opportunity to learn from this difficult period that you're having, or that period? So I think it's important to say, what's the business that you're going to do? Do you think it's going to be viable or not? We never know if it's going to be, but you must do research to back up. And then think about where you are now. Are you being hasty? Do you need to kind of step back a moment? I mean, when I think about myself, I've had many of those moments where I thought, I want a new job, or I want a new opportunity, or it's not working out. These sometimes are moments in our lives that stop and make us think about things differently. They make you stop and think, actually, Irene, this is a hard project that isn't giving me the success that I thought I would get. What do you learn from that? What do you take from that? We're not perfect people. We make mistakes. Things happen. But my thing is, what do you learn so that it can help you grow? So that by the time, Dziffa, you're ready to make that move, you're making it on a very level playing field. You're not doing it harshly. I equally understand sometimes circumstances happen and you've got to react quickly. Being able to react quickly into the market and develop or push a product or something is also important. But it's important to have your homework and do your homework well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, in under 1 year, you've been able to launch your first magazine just recently.
I know.
How was that like? It's beautiful.
I tell you, I sit there. Oh my God.
Very informative.
Oh, thank you. Human Capital Magazine Africa has, again, something that's been on my mind for a while. I wanted a resource that was African, Pan-African, that would be useful to you, to business leaders, managers, practitioners. I wanted it to be content rich, and hopefully I've achieved that. And I wanted to draw the attention of people that are not always in the limelight, but are doing amazing works. So I thought about this 6 months ago, and I said yes, and it wouldn't be so difficult. How wrong I was. How, you know, getting the articles in, the right articles, the right kind of writing, you know, making it interesting, the right kind of information, you know, getting the interviews, putting it all together, making it look and feel was a challenge. My goodness. But I also wanted it to be digital. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
Things are online. Things are very much digital. So I wanted that resource so that everyone in Africa and the rest of the world can access it. So I sit down and I shake my head sometimes because I'm still surprised.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed. But it just shows you what you can do if you put your mind to it.
Wow.
It really does.
What drives you?
I'm my worst critic.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm my biggest critic. Me drives me, which is sometimes a challenge because I'm not in competition with anybody else. So I think honestly, when I look back, humble beginnings. You know, growing up in the UK, my parents didn't have lots, but they had a loving family and environment. And I wanted, they ingrained in us hard work. They ingrained in us honesty, integrity, speaking up for yourself. And I think that has what has driven me. Just trying to be the best, trying to do well, the best that I can do, trying to be different. And creative and innovation is really what drives me, honestly.
What's next for Calvin Craig?
Oh, growth. What's next for Calvin? I think we want to always be at the forefront of innovation. So Digital Magazine is a product. Of course, our core is advising and providing culture change.
Invested in the development of this continent. Company to really go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will be right.
The golden goal on Bet Planet today with just 20 Ghana cedis. You could win a Mercedes and 100,000 Ghana cedi worth of prizes. This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below the age of 18.
Hello Ghanaians, my name is Mrs. Kosi Yankee Aye. I am the to over 100,000 beneficiaries across the nation. Hope amidst this global pandemic era that has negatively impacted all of
Back, it's Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now it's time for us to spend some time with crime. No one knows you. Maybe they get a concern, right? But no one will guess that you have the name Emmanuel.
And interesting, I'm also Kwame. So
wow, how does it feel being an Emmanuel and a Kwame?
I feel blessed to be an Emmanuel and Kwame. But you know,
so why don't you use the Emmanuel?
You know, the
I like that.
Guitarists at that, and he has made a statement on Xylophone FM. He was talking about how he was an educationist, and anytime he went
I left school. Wow. I've run away from school. He could have sent your colleagues, your classmates. To play music. He wanted to play music.
When I heard the interview, when I read more about the interview, appointment, like,
and you have to choose one.
Service. So that expectation is there, you know, that pride. Being a footballer, which is what we are celebrating today. You know, that's no longer ago we're talking about Thomas Partey. We heard the father saying that, look, I sold my land to take my son to Spain.
Wow.
You know, it's just peculiar situations like this that you hear stories like that. But I think times have changed. Originating the arts into their syllabus, like you have some schools doing music as an additional course, sort of. You have schools even with what you call it, extracurricular activities, instead of going for things that has to do with the arts, because they've seen that there is some form of lucrative venture in there that you can add to your education.
And it awakens your creativity.
So, is that
what do you make of it, especially in our academic?
Go art course receive the for example, you go to these schools.
So really the information.
I think for a young man, what does that do to your confidence?
Just as Brahima said,
it's blind. No, it's not blind.
Yes, Brahima. Education to allow his kid skip classes.
It's his son.
His son, yes. So he was right in a way. But if,
police,
if maybe he was stubborn. Maybe he was stubborn.
Yeah, but Advertising was that here. It's okay. No love for Akabule. All right.
We are talking about someone who started doing music in class 2.
Yeah.
Okay. From what I read, he would take so for you it's powder chemical, you know. Right. So yeah, he would take the powder chemical and then add some strings to it and then play some, you know, some melodies in the class. So
wow.
I think from within as an individual, he could tell that, look, Charlie, you know, and from was he the only was what the father wanted him to be. He just said, I want you to go to school. And those
maybe the usual
but how do we also, you know, tailor our education to a way that fits? Some children might learn better by seeing.
There were try his hands on some keyboard. Step.
Yeah, sounds better than STEM.
You see that thing? So let's. Manifesto. They mention arts education here and there.
Yeah.
But typical of politicians, they may just mention that we're going to make it more attractive.
Yeah.
But when you give them the power, what are they doing? The normal, the usual teaching. Teacher comes to say, okay, this is.
Oh, semi-brief.
If you did music and dancing.
To make the teacher think.
Yeah, no, sir.
The truth is, I really didn't. Even I did some music, you know, early on.
The teachers are watching, don't disappoint them.
So really compliment what Kwame said, because the truth is, back in our time, or back in the day, we used to do music and dance in school.
Yeah.
But like he said, it was just the theoretical aspect of it. You know, they ask you to draw a G clef. I'm like, why am I drawing a G? What is it going to do to
for my life?
Like that. You get me? But moving the theory away and then having the students, you know, put into practice and say, look, this is what I want to do. Even if I'm done with school, I want to do music full time. Now we've seen. I want to go to music school because I don't really have the foundation to keep me, you know, afloat. With Akable's situation, you could see that Yeah, rockstar.
Open gate to.
That's
album.
It was actually of Africa instead of Sons of Africa.
Really?
What?
Which is like, I
How
think,
did he pull that off?
I'm here to ask
He
you.
should have just added Stoneboy, then it would have been done. Okay.
Understanding of
wow
how the album is. I mean, the one with Files is out, the video is out.
How is it?
Brilliant.
Hey,
wow.
it's
Kwame,
nice.
Kwame put in some work.
Listen to the sound and you know that Charlie, this guy is doing so well.
His artistic direction has improved, to be honest. It's a Ghanaian is his sound. When you talk
not knocking that because we love how we listen to oh, you didn't like it? I've seen you dancing to it, rhyming along with it. Now you want to knock it.
I still don't know what
should have been. What should it have been? What would have been a good substitute for Willie?
For him.
Yeah,
because
should it have been like Brebo? Should have been Brebo 7. Anyway, you were making a point. Don't break the don't fall on live TV.
So, like you said. See you when you hear you. So the way Seven Contemporary Radio is like it's on and then do your walk, it's all those things.
But we don't get that. We get a matured version of that.
You get it? I mean, in the album, and that for me is the surprise factor to the album because it starts off with Kwame Nkrumah.
Wow. And the way
to be close to when the nominations will be released.
Yes.
And that will be closer to the award ceremony next year. And for most people, the proximity of the release dates to the main award ceremony counts. If you release a song earlier on, maybe January,
Avenue, and of course on TV is Saturday.
Number 9.
You bring me blessing, baby. You bring me blessing.
Number 4.
Give me all you got and I'll be yours. Only you.
The Confused Factory is a 1D1F initiative funded by Ghana Exim Bank. Each juice brand, a fruit juice, has helped the community prosper by creating jobs for many Ghanaians, from farming, distribution, and retail. Due to its great taste and brand promotion, a confit juice is available in supermarkets and shops all over Ghana. And just like a confit juice factory, there are other factories set up across the country under the 1D1F initiative in areas such as shea production, poultry, pharmaceuticals, sweet potatoes, avocado, tomatoes, mangoes, and more local businesses which are creating jobs and expected revenue. At Ghana Exim Bank, we call this the Made in Ghana 4P. Produce, promote, purchase, and prosper. Beyond aid. International trade.
Welcome back. It's time for us to talk relationships, and this morning on the relationship segment, we're going to be talking about admiration as a spice, a condiment for helping to improve your relationship. Marie Rose Sakyi, Mrs.
I would want to give a big shout out to my husband today.
Ish.
Yes,
Okay. What's the celebration?
This week, Monday, 5th October, was our 24th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yes, and I want to tell him that I really admire him, and that admiration that I had for him right from the beginning. That process.
Okay.
So to do with your actions. Of relationships, you know, many times sometimes you might not know somebody, but you just see the person. Admire the way you eat. Admire base. So designer, he's a great academician. It's because you have seen what the person does and you admire the person. And the person doesn't have a flaw.
Okay.
Yes. Admiration doesn't cancel out flaws. But admiration is such that it helps you to be able to even overlook flaws. Because all of us know that love wins with time. I mean, that feeling that you feel that when I see you, that feeling.
Okay.
That admiration bonds, helps to bond relationship, to have fulfillment in relationship. Some people walk out of relationship because they don't feel fulfilled. But you want to feel fulfilled in a relationship. You don't enter into relationship and feel devalued. You enter into relationship to feel more valued. He said, I get confused when you're not in the crowd. sustains the marriage. So soon some of those difficulties that you would encounter. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a partner. You used to admire. Does that impact on your level of admiration? And if so, what can you do to maintain admiration?
I mentioned earlier, that admiration, you know, because you admire the person for a certain quality. Yeah. Definitely will do something disgusting or something unacceptable and all that. But then when you it is something that should be a thread, a fine thread through your relationship. That admiration should be something that is a fine thread that holds the relationship together. So as soon as you untie it and pull it out,
will be scattered.
Yes, scattered. So you always have to let the admiration be it. I think that you have to always affirm it. It's like raising a child. Most of the time you say that we shouldn't tell our children negative things and all that. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you know you're a good girl, so you're going to stop. You know that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if your partner, there's something in your partner that you know, and you keep telling the person, hey, don't keep it to yourself. Let the person know that you uphold them. You hold. Also straighten up. Even in the night, there's no water, or maybe we've run short of something. You go all the way. Things that I like, and when I like them, even when I'm stopping him, oh, it's okay, he's not getting it. And I don't only and I think the more I let him know that I admire that, the more energy he gets to do.
I think that's actually quite.
That's to hold your partner in contempt. You criticize Sheni Tibi and I Sheni Nai and I'm polishing the shoe and I it becomes contempt, and now you see it and you feel so disgusted. It's good to know the weak point of your partner and
I mean, having said everything else, I think that this really can be the change maker for a lot of relationships.
Exactly. That's why I said that it's a change agent. You can use admiration as a change agent. You want like studying. He doesn't like learning. You are calling
actually inspire the child
to bring inspiration.
Yes, actually attain what it is.
And if the person keep hearing that positive, doing it. I mean, so if the person is walking around with that thing in mind, because you know that the person trusts or admires him to a certain level, that this kind of thing. So even if he has to rich and fulfilling. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, we've been speaking with Mrs. Mary Rose Sakyi, who's a counselor and an entrepreneur.
So this one says, Jessica, I've been with this lady for about 6 years now. Truly, I never loved her, but she kept helping me with money, and I've been able to set up 3 businesses. Truth be told, I can't marry this lady because I don't love her. I don't have any feelings for her. I've tried many. She keeps telling me that she loves me. I sympathize with her and tolerate her. I'm frustrated. House for about 6 months now, but she doesn't seem perturbed about it. Jess, mim peno for Chantel, that means I don't love her. What should I do? Frustrated, Colin.
He wouldn't have accepted anything from her.
Let's not jump into conclusion and think that, okay, she money.
When you really don't like someone, you don't even want their attention.
Like
a man like you.
It's Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. It is now time for our Discovery of the Week. And I'm talking about Barbara Mante, who's the CEO and founder of Kitchen Hut Foods. Good morning.
Good
table. Before we even delve into the conversations, I'm sure our viewers are wondering. of local foods. And our aim is also convenient. Also, the way that it's produced, that it's kept in its nutritional value and also good for babies. Our first products that we worked on was Easy Palm Nut. And at that time in 2016, I just had my third child.
Hey, wait, hold on. We need a moment for that.
Yeah.
Because you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Now we can continue.
That is not canned like what's existing on the market.
I've never seen
and also
this
without
before.
preservatives, so that you can get the full nutritional benefits of the product, especially for mother and baby. So this is our first product called Easy Palm Nut.
And everything here, which I'm not used to. I'm like, what a drastic transformation.
I know. And when God gives you the idea, He makes you for the product.
Wow.
Just come straight to a business.
I'm imagining thousands of, palm nuts.
About you. If you start, you would be able to ask for help and show that, okay, and then when you savings, all of our funds, but it's been good. We are now available in over Fanco, we have Empress. So social media Easy Palm Net. So tasty, just like our grandparents used to do it in the village.
Wow.
So we came, the next product was Easy Palm Oil, available in 1 liter, 2 liter, and 4.5 gallon.
Now let's see, BBQ spice mix, pepper,
chili peppers,
what's here?
Mixed spice, and suya spice.
I mean, you're coming from financial worlds for crying out loud.
We did the banking. And when God speaks, spices kept coming at me.
Wow.
And for the barbecue spice, it's somewhat different because we produce to grill your was to blend your onion, ginger, garlic, and maybe throw some peppers in there. But you have all of this in here and more.
Wow.
So all you need to do is clean your meat, marinate it, add some salt, and if you want, you know, the spicy bit of it, then you go for the green chili sauce.
And then you're good to go.
And you're good to go. So this two here,
that's it.
It's a
That's
winner
all
for
you
all.
need together. Thank you so much, Barbara, for
Thank
being
you
with us.
so much for having me.
Share your social media handles with us again, because we all need this in our lives.
$505030. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Now, my co-host is actually in the dating world. Tomorrow, because keep and I got the chance to actually meet the life of the party. Walked away with
absolutely
transition.
the fondest memories of him. He was so happy, so bubbly, so infectious in the way he Anyway, so there's a birthday message from Jimmy Christ.
That I wanted to read, but now I'm not finding it, so it's okay. But don't forget that if you miss any segment of this show, you can go onto our YouTube page, Citi TV, comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to share all the content. I found that birthday message. Happy 4th birthday to Ejiji Afrakuma Osei Boateng of Queensland International School Community 15 Tema. May God continue to your parents say they love you very much. Another one here, happy birthday to Nweki Opata Soja of Tema from Nana Kwame and Amponsa Juma family.
Yes, well, keep watching Citi TV. It's going to be a good, interesting weekend. Enjoy yourself.
Have fun, guys. I mean, enjoy the weekend. You know, let's make the most of it.
Yeah. We'll be back next week and keep watching Citi TV. My name is David Kwekwe.
And I am Dziffa Ametam. Do not forget.